kind of in some foul trouble during the game. Kind of sat down for a little bit, put the team's hands in other hands, basically. What were you trying to do to pep them up on the sidelines while you were sitting there?
As much as I can do, cheering, encouraging them, talking them through the plays while they're on the sideline if they're a little confused is all you can do, really.
Coach, talk about the win. You came up, you reversed the outcome earlier when it was most important.
Yeah, that was one of the most exciting college basketball games I've been a part of. Absolute hats off credit to not only the athletic department here at Hardin-Simmons, but also that fan base. That was a super supportive fan base for a really good basketball team, and they did it the right way. And I think sometimes we see that not happening today. So I have a ton of respect for the folks that were at the game tonight. And you know, a game like that, you have to fight with every ounce of energy that you have. And I feel like we did that, and I'm just so incredibly proud to be moving on in this tournament.
Maggie, speak to what this means for your team. What does it mean for your team?
This is huge. This is what we've been working towards all season, just finally to get to this game. We were excited, and we went out there, and I think we just played our game the whole way through. No matter what the score was, we just kept pushing, and we got the results we wanted, so we're super excited.
So to me, there were two things going on in the game. First, that early lead, and you put Hardin-Simmons in a hole. And then every time, you knew they were probably going to come back, but every time they answered and they got a lead or tied, you answered right away. Talk about that, one of you.
We say this all the time. Big runs to start games are dangerous, especially when you're playing a really talented team on their home floor. So as much fun as it was to get off to that kind of start, there was not one person in our huddle that didn't think for a second that they weren't going to make this a competitive basketball game. So our focus stayed on one possession at a time and trying to make smart adjustments, subtle adjustments, both offensively and defensively. And you know, when you have a team like this and they can take plays off the board and make adjustments on the fly, it makes coaching so much fun. And I'll let them speak to it as well.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I think we knew they were going to go on a run like Coach Cam said, but I think what really does set this team apart is we just play after play, we were like, we just have to get a stop and then convert on the other end. And when that didn't happen, went right back to defense. We never once lost our heads in the game, even with all the fans going crazy. I think our team did a really good job of just staying course.
Yeah, we always say our highs never get too high and our lows never get too low, and we really stay with that.
Defensively, I know you just kind of touched on it a little bit, but just defensively, you know, you held the team by 0 points, you know, to start off like 3 minutes of the game. You held the MVP of the tournament, Paris Palmer, to 0 points the first half. I mean, speak on your defense and how that sounds to you guys.
Anytime Paris Palmer doesn't score, someone's getting lucky. That's all that was. It was just opportunities missed for them. But you know, we've always all season long been a super aggressive team. We feel like if we can make the other team play our pace in 4 quarters worth of basketball, it's going to pay dividends. And I think what both of these guys said about staying focused on one possession at a time, knowing that Father Time is ticking away with their legs, I think that played a huge role in tonight's game. And by doing this every single day, we're fit to do it. Like, we know what 40 minutes of pressure feels like. A lot of teams don't. And that I think, you know, that start and then the end, having the energy to begin with and having fuel in the tank at the end of the game made a huge difference for us.
Yeah, I've seen with Hardin-Simmons, you know, they have a young team, and it seemed like that intensity at the beginning kind of maybe they were unsettled by it, maybe nerves, and you know, they settled down a little bit. Was that your game plan, to maybe kind of shake it up a little bit at the start?
We thought if we would just score 6 points in the second quarter, you know, we could challenge ourselves a little bit in the second half. And so these guys did a great job of not taking advantage of offensive possessions and making it really difficult for us in the second half. But, you know, it worked out.
Last question for me. You secured your lead, I think, by 4 or 5 at the end, you know, with those 2 free throws that made the game. What were your thoughts whenever that happened, when you girls were on the court?
I was just so excited. Like, when those 2 went in, I kind of knew we had it, because I knew our defense would get the stops and people would knock down their free throws. So it was just a super exciting moment for all of us. We definitely all looked at each other and were like, all right, we got this one.
I agree. I think I was just smiling and looking at the scoreboard.
All good.
Congratulations.
Thank you guys.
Thank
very much.
you.
Appreciate you.